Hey everyone, so we just posted a video about our new test bench, the Open Air Tech Station as it is called, and you can check the channel for that video. But now we're talking about our next new bench for 2015 and onward, and this is talking about the bench that will be used for all of our case reviews going forward. And these case reviews will be conducted by Patrick Lathan. He's a writer at our site and also handles the social media. So let's go over the specs for Patrick's test bench for all the case reviews. First of all, we're using a micro ATX motherboard, and micro ATX is on its way out. It's sort of mini ITX or ATX at this point, but we're sticking with micro ATX for now because there are still some cases we want to review that are micro ATX only, and we want that versatility. So it uses a Z97 micro ATX board from ASRock, and the CPU is a 4770K, which we just happen to have lying around, so that's what ultimately went in the new bench. And for the cooler, it's got one of these on top of it. This is a Dark Rock 3 from Be Quiet. It's a pretty beefy cooler, but not insane. It actually will fit in almost all of the cases we review. It's only 160 millimeters tall, so that tends to be about the cutoff point for most cases. Some cases are 150. If we run into those instances, we'll figure out a solution, but this will work for most of them. Fairly quiet and very cool for an air cooler, and this is definitely one of the ones you would want to look at for mid-range air cooling options. So that's our cooler that we'll be using in every case, which will impact the thermal results if we decide to continue with thermal benchmarks on cases, which is something I'll do a video about in the future. So that's the Dark Rock 3. We've also got a GTX 960 for the video card for this bench, and that is the Asus Strix 960 that we've reviewed and tested in SLI. You can check all those videos on the channel, of course. Other than this, we've got some Kingston Genesis RAM in there, which is effectively Fury memory. It's just the previous model. We just had some Genesis memory lying around, so threw that in there. I think it's clocked at 1866 megahertz, and it's 2 sticks of 4 gigabytes. So that's our RAM, motherboard, CPU, cooler, and video card. For the power supply, we've also got a Be Quiet power supply. It is one of their dark power units, and it's 750 watts. So yeah, that's a lot. It's a lot more than we need for this system, but that's what they had available, and it gives us some headroom if we ever decide we want to use this bench for SLI testing and extreme overclocking and things like that. So would I recommend a 750 watt power supply for a 960 and a 4770K? No, but that's not really the point of a test bench. It's not always going to reflect exactly what the real world user will build, because we do need that extra flexibility for changes as we opt in different hardware. The first case that Patrick is reviewing is the S340, which is an NZXT case. It's been out for a little while now. It came out shortly after the H440. Next, he will be reviewing Be Quiet's Silent Base 800, and that is their new case. It's their first venture into the case world. If we decide to do any testing with this bench outside of cases, it will use the S340 as the permanent test bench case for that system. So to sort of update everyone, we've got several test benches these days. We have the one I just showed you, which is still running an i5 3570K, but that's okay because it's just doing GPU benchmarks for games and FPS. And that one rotates video cards for all the FPS testing we do on video games. We've got this bench, which is a 4770K system with a 960 permanent, and this cooler, important because it's case testing. That's doing all the case tests, and we'll investigate it for cooler tests in the future, but not sure about that. I might build a separate bench for that. And then we've got a mini ITX system, which I've yet to unveil. That will be used for separately testing all the mini ITX enclosures, because those are sort of specific in their requirements for a good enclosure, and I want to make sure we're testing that with a different build than what we use for testing ATX and micro ATX enclosures. So those are our benches to kind of get everyone updated with the channel. Things are going very well for the website. I'm pretty excited about it. Make sure you check out the site, www.gamersnexus.net, if you have not checked that out. The channel, of course, subscribe as always, and we will see you all next time. Peace.